Archangel Michael and the Council of Radiant Light. Discovering your true heritage, beloved ones. We greet you with love. We are here now to speak with you a little about your current ascension experience and to offer you transmissions that will help you feel more integrated, whole, clear, powerful, aligned, and more in touch with, and operating from, the pure truth of your being. This includes discovering your true heritage and learning to live knowing you are held within the infinite field of life itself. We know this transition into living in higher states of consciousness is challenging, but it is also exciting. And we wish to support your expansion of consciousness by sharing with you liberating perspectives that will help you perceive more of the possibilities for inner expansion and the potential to thrive. We know you often feel comfortable, and yet you always sense that you should be doing more. Today we suggest you release this belief. Every time you feel inadequate, every time you focus on your participation with the feeling that it isn't enough, you are limiting your perception and, consequently, your experience of reality. You have created extraordinary experiences for yourself by choosing what you prefer and clearly emanating your preferences. Life itself responds to these preferences by immediately providing you with their fulfillment in a vibrational state. Your role is simply to accept this and to perceive the inner harmony so that you resonate with the inner divine self that lives in and as this flow, thus allowing it to manifest for you, reflected in your tangible experience. We know how devoted you are to your awakening and your path. We see you filled with love and compassion. We often see you take a moment to send energy, love, and light to someone, or a place you feel might need a little extra support. You are incredibly generous in how you engage with the world. Now we would like you to turn that generosity toward yourself. There are so many ways you continue to feel alone and think you have to figure everything out by yourself. What we offer you today is an invitation to join us in a series of transmissions and guided inner journeys that will transform your relationship with yourself, freeing you from the feeling of loneliness and having to do everything alone, and from the belief that everything depends solely on you, into a state where you will vividly perceive the immense support available to you and learn to live from a place of trustful co-creation and, above all, with a greater capacity to receive. We want to guide you toward greater awareness of the areas in your life where, unconsciously, you continue to act as if you are the only one who has to take care of everything. Areas where you feel responsible. Areas where you put yourself aside and prioritize everything else. Areas where you give to others what you don't give to yourself. Areas where you act with self-denial, or live as if you are the only one taking care of that part of your life. There is more, but these examples give you an idea of what we are referring to. It might surprise you to discover that even things like keeping the house clean and doing your taxes are not activities you have to do alone. Perhaps it wouldn't occur to you to think that we, non-physical beings, can help you in these areas, but we assure you we can. By learning to live your life in a state of trustful co-creation, you will begin to understand how much more freedom you have and how much more peace you can experience. Trust, multidimensionality, co-creation is your natural state when you are embodied and know who you truly are, and your beliefs and expectations are not in contradiction with this. We simply want to help you become aware of the filters you have, in terms of beliefs, habits, expectations, and thoughts that are shaping your reality. Filters that contradict your inner sense of who you truly are and that, although they may seem solid and real to you, can be modified. This is particularly important for you now, because the physical demands on your body are so significant. All of you are undergoing major changes at an energetic and cellular level that require you to relax and rest frequently. Many of you have trouble sleeping and feel tired during the day. We remind you of this to show you how helpful it could be right now to discover how to allow the invisible forces that are already focused on you to help you more than you are currently allowing, and how you might begin to relate to yourselves with greater awareness of how much you are doing and how much you are, aspects you tend to overlook or not appreciate. Furthermore, we and others in the invisible realm are already here and already offering you help. You are so often convinced that certain things in your life are your exclusive domain or that you have to resolve them alone, that you filter out the insights, ideas, and awareness that would allow you to understand how to welcome our support or how to allow others, who wish to help and support you. A significant part of your awakening and ascension journey is this passage from the consciousness of separation to that of unity, or living unity, as we have called it. This is not just a mental concept, being one with everything. Truly knowing this would be wonderful, but even having this splendid awareness is far from what we are talking about. We are talking about an experiential reorganization of your life that will allow you to receive and welcome more resources in every way. We want you to feel what it means to be deeply held and generously supported by the infinite field of all that is. There is only one source. Everything comes from the source of all that is. Yes, there are situations and circumstances, and sometimes people, that become the channels through which you receive something. But creation itself is the source. The infinite all is the source of everything you desire and need, and of everything you possess. And for most of your life, you have lived allowing yourselves only a rather meager amount of what is actually available and being given to you. Is it any wonder that life has often seemed difficult? We say this to invite you to pause for a moment and be honest with yourselves. Hasn't much of life felt difficult? Is it any wonder that when you feel responsible for things you don't know how to handle, you feel very discouraged or even depressed? You might think this is because you truly want to be able to handle things, but it's also more than that. Deep within your being, a part of you knows you are one with all, and that nothing is beyond you or outside of you. For the essence of your being, it is natural to desire something and receive it. Truly. We mean this sincerely. Yet so much of what you expect and believe contradicts this knowing. It is crucial that you realize how much unnecessary effort you are putting into practically everything. In the past, if we had said this, it would have sounded wonderful, but perhaps it wouldn't have seemed real. Now we know that not only does it sound incredible, but we truly believe it is possible. What is missing is the belief that you are among those who can receive it. Whether this doubt about receiving more stems from ingrained patterns of lack and limitation, or, for some of you, from having lived experiences that often turned out to be less than what you truly desired, to the point where you've developed a belief, based on concrete experience, that you cannot get more. Know that, in either case, this situation can change. Whatever the reason you tend to filter out much of what is offered to you, there is no reason why you cannot change your way of being present energetically to welcome much more. This means being in a different energetic state to be able to perceive differently. The creative power to shape and live your reality in a wonderful way should be a source of joy and liberation. Our intent is to help anyone willing to cooperate to make this possible. This is where we see you now. You are at a point where you not only understand who you truly are, but you also know you are an eternal, non-physical consciousness. Significant, unique, and deeply loved. We know you know this, and now we want you to experience it in your manifest life through the way you live your life experience. Nothing, and we mean nothing, is ever withheld from you. And you create your reality entirely, 100%. There are so many different realities in which people live because there are so many different people, and each one creates their own reality because each one determines what they perceive. No one else can vibrate for you. You create your state of being. And your perception is a filter created by your expectations, habits, beliefs, feelings, and vibrational frequency in the present moment. All these elements combine to create a dynamic filter that determines which aspects of creation you grasp and perceive. So, keeping this in mind, listen now. Receiving more does not require more from you. It does not require more effort, nor more work. You don't have to earn it. In fact, receiving more means subtracting. It means learning to let go and step out of the thought and belief patterns that have created filters that do not allow you to fully experience the vibrational gifts that creation itself is offering you. If this message resonates with you, if a part of you perceives the truth in this conversation, and if you wish to cooperate with us in a series of guided, progressive transmissions that will help you reorganize your relationship with daily life, we would be delighted to collaborate with you. Beloved Divine Ones, you are meant to thrive. Within you resides the capacity to transform your ideas and beliefs about reality and about yourself, so that you can live your life experience differently. By creating a personal life experience that is fulfilling for you and for others. You came here, convinced you could succeed. You must believe in your abilities. You must convince yourself that you can change your thoughts and therefore your beliefs, and that this can and will change your life. You must understand that some of the things you believe about yourself are most likely, and above all, false. You knew, coming here, that you would participate in this great expansion of consciousness. You knew you would awaken and remember who you truly are, and that in this shift you would gain access to your true consciousness abilities and the pleasure of creating your reality deliberately and intentionally. You had imagined being a pioneer and a bridge between worlds. A person who, in their awakening and reconnection with the truth of their being, could demonstrate, through the way they live their life and their energy, what is possible for everyone. Now is the time for you, who are part of the first wave, to access your innate gifts and truly master your ability to receive. And so much of this simply involves eliminating the elements that limit your perception. It's not about doing more. It's not about striving. It's not about fixing something inside you. It's not even truly about healing, Although the experience of this liberation will likely feel therapeutic, in truth, it is a revelation. It's about recognizing where you have become accustomed to limitation and bringing into this creation the willingness to see things differently. If you are willing to see things from a different perspective, things can change radically and reveal themselves beautifully for you. We are thrilled with what you are about to discover. We know what is possible for you because we see you much more clearly than you currently see yourselves. We see the freedom opening up for you. We see the joy. We see the ease. We hope you will give us the opportunity to show you how deeply we care for you. We look forward with great enthusiasm to this opportunity to create something together with you. Join us, if you can. We are complete. I am Archangel Michael with the Council of Radiant Light. Summer energy continues to rise if you're feeling pulled in a million directions. Welcome to the Mad Hatter. Mercury retrograde, upside down energy. This sequence of alignments dominates right now. We ask ourselves, are we ahead or behind? Which place have we landed in? Which dimension are we living in? All these questions and many more have been unleashed in our sleeping consciousness as it tries to make sense of everything. We are all face to face, heart to heart, and foot to foot with every inch of our being and our world, no matter where we reside, knocking on the door of the future and the sacred place within us. All events begin and end in this corridor of time. Pay attention to what seeks your approval, whether it be wind or tide, tree or sister. Everything is asking, what is illusion and what is reality? All mixtures are emulsifying to create a new element not found on the earthly periodic table. It is time to stop expecting the predictable and embrace what we haven't even imagined as we move through this solar summer of 2026. Summer energy continues to rise exponentially. We're all a little nauseous, a little dizzy, perhaps a little jet-lagged, so to speak. The solar plexus chakra is wide open like a baby bird's beak, doing its best to balance all the incoming energies, without success. All of us, internally and externally, perceive an imbalance between input and output, as well as a cosmic reflux. As we traverse the corridors and bridges of the lollipop ship, we encounter a time passage that demands our attention. We all feel a little fragmented and not made of the right ingredients to withstand all the current energies and events. Nothing seems to add up, as everything we once perceived as concrete and tangible crumbles faster than a stale old cookie. You will no longer be asked to put the past back together like Humpty Dumpty. You are being asked to take the molecular content of what remains, of what was, and recreate something new. Yes, it feels like unraveling the threads of self and time. Yes, it feels like letting go of all expectations about life and love, allowing love to settle lightly into an unforeseen future. Loosely fitting describes the circumference of the vibrant solar eruptions watching Earth this summer. Like a Portuguese man of war, the bonds of time extend outward, preceding the solar energy as it pulses toward the planet. In this energy, the physical body may experience a real burning sensation or a deep itch. July sacred time gates this July. We face sacred meeting points in time and several days of sacred energy that hold both an ending and a beginning. A great stellar impulse is released from Sirius through our morning star, the sun, directly into the heart of all humanity. We move slowly, step by step, like in a black and white film, avoiding personal problems as much as possible, immersing emotions in the sweetness not found in the real world. In ancient times, July 22nd celebrated the Egyptian New Year with the rising of the Nile and Isis on top of the Egyptian birthday cake. This is followed by the Atlantean New Year, celebrating who we were in that unique time of light. Then we dress for the Mayas' Day Out of Time, July 25th. Finally, on July 26th, the Mayan New Year is celebrated in all its magnificence. During this time of year, we face initiation after initiation, step by step, cell by cell, and light by light. The next step forward in this wave of energy is the rising of the star Sirius, which once again initiates an advanced theme of solar light. Solar light is the total sum of all consciousness that exists across all dimensions. It encompasses the light of all souls, all planets, all life in our universe. It is a light of higher will, universal love, and creative intelligence. Solar light is a living being. The rising of Sirius is a doorway of unprecedented opportunity to dive forward on the stellar wave that precedes what must be created. Sirius has been honored since ancient times. In Atlantis, the mysteries came from the star Sirius through the high priestesses. After the third fall of Atlantis, the Syrian mysteries spread to ancient Egypt. As early as 3000 BC, the Egyptians began to celebrate the heliacal rising of Sirius, declaring it the new year, as the Nile flooded in the month of Leo. Sirius is the home of the cosmic Christ, the ascended masters, and the lords of karma, Sirius beings. It has always been a spiritual prototype for Earth. As Sirius's rays bow toward Earth through the sun, we have another opportunity to activate the seed of the cosmic Christ within us. These seeds are small solar gems that hold dormant DNA codings. They patiently await specific stellar emanations to open sealed stellar files. When Sirius rises in your part of the world, go out before dawn and look east. Whether it's cloudy or dark, visible or invisible, the star Sirius will rise to meet you. It is in the quiet moments between words and thoughts that you will find the key that opens the door to what you seek. Go out, turn east, and let the energies of dawn enter you. Ask to be released from everything that no longer serves your highest light, and to be completely filled with what serves your new soul path and spiritual evolution. Mary Magdalene. When you can't fix those you love, COR * Lady Master Mary Magdalene. In my practice as a channel and energy worker, I speak with many women who care deeply about their children and grandchildren. Many of these young people are very gifted and brilliant, yet life is difficult for them in certain ways. They have developmental issues or disabilities of various kinds. Most have experienced childhood trauma due to different forms of abuse. The women I speak with come from all walks of life. They are mostly people over 50, very compassionate and empathetic. For them, it is an enormous burden to see the younger members of the family grappling with difficult problems. Some young people are paralyzed by the fear of finding a job or living and working away from home. Some people need a lot of medication to lead a normal life, and sometimes even that doesn't stabilize their mental/emotional state. Others get into all sorts of trouble and are forced to attend a special school or residential facility, or end up in prison. I have encountered this phenomenon so many times in the 12 years I have offered channeling sessions that this area has become a fundamental part of my work. Some women are ready to give up and let go of their loved ones, having tried every possible avenue to help them in vain. Others feel that their child or grandchild is too vulnerable to be abandoned, whether they're teenagers or in their 30s. If you, dear mother, have any insights or advice to share with us on this topic, I would be most grateful. Mary Magdalena, * greetings, dearest ones. I am truly delighted that the medium has asked for my perspective on this very serious matter. Indeed, the role of the matriarch can sometimes be very burdensome and painful. The female figure at the head of the family is certainly not one who rests on her laurels. She has many responsibilities, and until the end of her days, she will never consider her work for her family and community finished. She oversees much of the present events, has visions of possible futures, and remembers everything. For this reason, many will become discouraged in their search for answers that might heal and help their younger loved ones. Often these women have a complex, sometimes painful, soul contract with a younger relative, a contract that plays out over the years of care and support. In my teachings, I invite everyone to claim their sovereignty, whether they are able to do so fully or only partially. And so, the growing child or grandchild is also often called to become aware of their own presence and the effects that presence has on the world, and on those who know and love them. It does not mean that these people are entirely without responsibility, even if they are only capable of being responsible for themselves, and only partially so. Yet these young ones you speak of are not completely disabled, and that is the crux of the matter. These loved ones you help care so much about you, yet they live with the frustration of realizing that their love, their wisdom, their possessions, their prayers, their financial efforts, and their desire for stability and normality in their loved ones' lives may never be enough. This is the paradox the matriarch must face and live with, and it is often a painful paradox. Often, the shock and grief felt over a child's illness, a young person's mistakes that get them into trouble, or a teenager's addictions or obsessions, seem irreparable to those who witness them. Yet, being a goddess who came here to love, the matriarch cannot stop caring for others, nor stop pouring her life force into that bottomless cup that seems never to fill. This is why granting sovereignty over their lives to those who seem incapable of claiming it for themselves appears futile, and even strange. Someone might ask, how can someone claim their strength, their determining life current, when they are too unaware or disturbed to do so? Yet, there is great power in letting go and in allowing, my dears. Sometimes, this is precisely the strength that ensures the young person can truly stand on their own, responsibly, honestly, and balanced. This will present itself differently for each person the matriarch has worried about. It is evident that these are lives destined to live in turmoil, at least for a period, and for a wide range of reasons. Some present with illnesses, imbalances, addictions, or a tendency to come into conflict with legal authorities, because there is an old story they must conclude in this life, and there are no shortcuts to doing so. Some share these experiences to inspire those who will help them, such as teachers, writers, social workers, healers, therapists, or family members. Let it be clear, however, that a person's role in relation to those who seem lost is never accidental. This decision is made before either person incarnates. Even those who react with violence and categorically refuse the help offered remain in a contractual relationship with those who offer it. The matriarch is here, in part, to understand soul contracts and to allow them to be as they are. I realize this is one of the most difficult and painful experiences to face. Many will say, why should I become the mother, aunt, or grandmother of this person, if not to offer support in their difficulties? How could I not help them? And the answer is not that the young ones should not be helped. The answer is that these very forms of help, though offered with love and the best intentions, can never be what heals the young person or teaches them to take responsibility for themselves, including self-love and self-care. The matriarch's love is sufficient in itself to constitute a blessing, regardless of whether that love contains the answers for her loved ones. It is highly likely that the answer must be created by the person themselves. Even if their disabilities seem to prevent such a thing from ever happening, you are aware that, although the physical therapist can guide a person to learn to walk again after an injury or illness, it is the patient who must take the first step. It is the person themselves who must decide, at the soul level and at the earthly life level, whether they want to move forward in life or whether they prefer to remain in resonance with struggle, loss, and self-denial. This means your extraterrestrial brothers and sisters will soon join you on the planet in much more open, visible, and helpful ways. And naturally, they will wish to share with you extraordinary technologies capable of solving many of the difficulties described above. But does each person truly want to heal? If they do not, it is a desire that no benevolent extraterrestrial or the matriarch, with all their love, wisdom, presence, and desire, can fulfill. And so, rest assured, dearest ones, your love is not in vain. Allow all those who have come into the world to live their lives fully, and simply love each one, in your family or outside of it, as if they were already perfect. Yes, even while they vent their anger and declare that no one loves or understands them. You know this is not true. Leave them to their temporary decisions and conclusions, because much of the beauty of this earth lies in going through so many experiences that later seem impossible to have lived through. Change is constant, and never more so than now on your earth. All is well, dearest ones. Love and give to yourselves, as well as to others. You, too, are my precious children, and I will never forget you, nor stop thanking you for your beauty, your steadfastness, your love, in every moment. And so it is. As within, so without inner change is now paramount, because the outer cannot manifest if the inner has not changed, if the heart is not open, and if the infinite soul and connection to Source are not present. We often wish for external regimes, institutions, etc., to transform, change, or disappear, but everything always reflects ourselves. At this time, when even celestial bodies are transforming into a new birth and new energy, we need to be flexible, mobile, and fluid. So much is happening at the galactic and universal level that we are not even aware of. Yet our souls and soul groups are all fully present and conscious, aware, and united in all of this. Before anyone on this planet could foresee, anticipate, or know it, the higher cosmic soul knew, and this was planned millions of earthly years ago. So the entire universe has prepared for this moment and cosmic event, and this is your very own soul. I am deeply inspired, filled with joy, awe, and wonder, and grateful that this cosmic event is now in full swing. Instead of focusing on external events, calmly allow the enormous changes to happen within you, and remain focused on what is now activating and igniting, being born within you. Nurture it. Love it. Let it expand with love and care, as you would a newborn. This is your true cosmic self, your highest soul, now consciously revealing itself to you again. It is the emergence of the one that is the many. When the one emerges within you, it radiates outward in waves into the many. You are meant to be merely the vessel, the sacred chalice, the sun, that which ignites the many, and the many then are one. Silence, the quest for inner sacredness, for stillness, is now more necessary than ever. Silence speaks louder than any words. The Arturian group, the collective Ascent, dear readers, the world has become a place of confusion and questions for those aware of the ascension process, as well as for those who are not. Everyone is experiencing the effects of the high-resonance energies now flowing toward, into, through, and around Earth as the ascension process unfolds. These energies have always been present because they are reality, but they were inaccessible to most people because Earth's density and the conditioned state of Earth's collective consciousness prevented alignment. The collective has reached a level of receptivity that allows the incoming energies, characterized by high resonance, to affect everyone on physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels. Everyone, including those totally unaware of the ascension process, is receiving and experiencing the effects of this energy, but many interpret it only at the third-dimensional level. They believe that the negative experiences which often result from clearing old energy and integrating the new are physical, emotional, or mental problems. While not being aware of what is actually happening, people at all levels are becoming increasingly receptive to new, higher ideas about life, which in turn is bringing light to the collective, even if they have no idea about it. The increasing presence of high-frequency energy is one reason for the rise in violence and aggressive behavior. Many do not understand what is happening or what they are experiencing, and any change to their foundational belief system causes them to react with fear and resistance. Some are personalizing aspects of this dense energy that is surfacing and acting accordingly. Prepare for Earth changes. The Earth itself is clearing a vast amount of ancient energy that will affect many people's lives and may even attract the attention of those in power who have so far kept themselves safe, isolated, and removed from what others might experience. The world can never go back to a previous, outdated state of consciousness, as many continue to believe and promote. Consciousness, whether personal or collective, cannot regress to a previous, less evolved state. Many of you find it difficult, and even a little lonely, to be in the company of family, friends, or groups exclusively interested in third-dimensional concepts and solutions. For those who have reached a spiritually evolved level of consciousness, it is very easy to recognize the causes and solutions to most of the problems and dilemmas of the third-dimensional world. Offering knowledge and insights from a level that others are not yet able to align with only creates resistance, confusion, and anger in those you are trying to help, thus forcing you to remain silent. The desire to help others is part of spiritual evolution, because it allows you to easily identify the underlying concepts causing their problems. However, you should never try to teach, heal, change, fix, or save others, even if their problems and the relevant solutions are obvious, unless they ask for your help. Those ready to receive what you have to offer will be drawn to your energy. The absolute reality is that, as divine beings, no one needs to be healed, changed, or fixed. Proselytizing, preaching, guilt-tripping, coercion, and activities based on the idea of having to save others are expressions of belief in separation. An activity of the human ego that believes it has all the answers, is more enlightened, and closer to God than those who need to be saved. Your role as a light worker is to recognize that every person who chooses to live according to third-dimensional concepts and beliefs is a divine being engaged in their own personal evolutionary path, which requires them to learn and evolve through their own free will choices. If someone reaches out to you, respond. But otherwise, know that to love means to honor each person's path. Guard and protect the sacred truths you have understood, sharing them only with those capable of respecting, appreciating, and honoring them. This does not mean you should never suggest a reading or energy work to yourselves or others, because these tools can serve to release energy blocks, and not everyone is ready for deeper truth yet. Crystals, essential oils, readings, massages, or energy work performed by a spiritually evolved person can be helpful, but always remember they are tools and never a necessity. Spiritual tools cannot and do not give you anything that is not already fully present within you. They serve to amplify what is already there. Keep in mind that a channel, personal or video, or energy work cannot rise above the consciousness of the one performing it, so seek only those who do this work from a high level of spiritual awareness. Psychic is not always synonymous with spiritual. The third-dimensional world teaches that each person must make things happen, which means living under the constant pressure of scheming, planning, and acting to achieve any goal. The spiritual path is about learning to allow the divine self, self-sufficient and complete, to guide, direct, teach, and attract to itself, as you, what you need. This does not mean a person should not have goals and preferences, but rather that the primary objective must be to achieve a state of consciousness that knows that everything needed already exists within. The mystical life is a life of prayer, not predatory prayer, nor prayer consisting of mechanical words and the endless repetition of some mantra, but true prayer which is simply and silently being. To be involves truly trusting, not pretending and deluding oneself into thinking one trusts when one does not. What you believe is reality, not the concepts of reality you have been taught. Trust that you are a divine being. You always have been, and always will be, while currently using a material body to live and experience the dense energies of duality, separation, and multiple powers on Earth. It means knowing that any experience you have had or are having cannot, and will never change the truth that you are an individualization of the one divine consciousness/God. To be means living from a consciousness at rest, in unity with your divine self. Whether you like it or not, whether you oppose it or not, whether you deny it or not, whether you believe it or not, every person is on a path to free themselves from the veils and experiences of duality, separation, and multiple powers. The ongoing ascension process is offering everyone ways to progress with extraordinary intensity, but it cannot happen overnight. It must be a process. Millions of years of third-dimensional conditioning cannot simply dissolve in an instant, and physical bodies could not survive a sudden explosion of high-resonance energy. You are already well on your way in the ascension process. Your higher self, the you who has never forgotten who you are, is constantly drawing to you the information, guidance, and experiences for which you are ready. Trust that it knows better than anyone else what you need, compared to the false perception of yourself you believed you had. We are the Arturian group,